Japan is known to have some of the most respectful people in the world. If you decide to pay a visit to this country that is rich in history and culture, it's best you get to know some of their laws. You'd be surprised to hear what exactly is illegal in Japan. Ready to find out what's okay and what might get you behind bars? Personal space. Did you know that Japan has laws to protect people's personal space, privacy, and how they can be treated? Well, guess who broke those laws and put it on video? That's right, Logan Paul. When Logan was visiting Japan, he was doing all sorts of shenanigans that we all heard about. When he was running around Tokyo throwing Pokeballs at people while dressed up as Pikachu, he was actually breaking the law. More specifically, when he threw the balls at a person on a bike as well as a police car, he was breaking traffic violations. Dancing. This law was recently lifted, but it's so surprising it will make you feel like you're in the movie Footloose. In 2015, Japan lifted its 67-year-old ban on dancing. That's right, if you were in a nightclub and the dancing bug bit you, you just have to let the itch stay there. The law was put into place after World War II. You could obtain a special dance license if you really wanted to get your groove on. Destruction of property. While talking about surprising laws, let's bring up our best friend, Logan Paul, again. While staying at a hotel in Tokyo, Logan threw a persimmon at the wall and he stained it. Several knowledgeable people in Japanese law stated that the hotel probably could have gotten Logan arrested for destruction of property had someone pressed charges. When Logan was carrying around a fish and a tentacle, he went into a clothing store and touched goods with the decaying sea life. That could also be counted as destruction of property in Japanese law. Inhalers and allergies. If you have asthma or any sort of allergies, you might not have a good time in Japan. Why? Well, there's a law prohibiting you from bringing in your inhaler, ADHD meds, or even allergy medication. If you're found to have entered the country with these, you might find yourself being detained for several weeks. Let's give a shout out to one of our awesome law-abiding viewers. At least we hope they are. Let's hear it for It's Admir, who says, "Hey the richest, I learned 40% of my knowledge from most of your videos. Thanks for having this channel. I've been around since 500,000. Whew, it's been a while now. Thanks so much for keeping up with us." Public indecency. On the surface, you might think that public indecency laws are a good idea. Japan, however, takes it a bit too far. When Megumi Igarashi made a kayak to look like her lady bits, she was taken into custody and held for weeks. Of course, Logan Paul broke this law during his visit to Tokyo when he pulled his pants down in the middle of a city square. The color of his underwear made it look like he was wearing nothing underneath, causing a whole slew of problems for Japan. Space life. If you're a citizen of Japan and you happen to discover life in outer space, then you have to report to the Secretary General of the United Nations as well as the scientific community. Granted, if you made this major discovery, chances are you'd be announcing it from the rooftops and want everyone to know. However, conspiracy theorists think that because you have to notify the United Nations, it's a way to silence explorers. It's an odd law, but it makes sense to us. Photos. Visiting a temple in Japan is seen as a pilgrimage for some people. They want to enjoy the ambiance, relax, and feel spiritual. However, if you want to take a photo to remember the occasion, you won't be able to thanks to tourists with bad manners. Because some people want their pictures at the expense of other people's experiences, photos are now prohibited in temples. Unsurprisingly, Logan Paul broke this law too when he was taking videos inside a temple in Tokyo. Who else is shocked? Codeine. If you need codeine, a decongestant, or any kind of stimulants for that matter, not only will you not be able to find it in Japan, you won't be able to bring it into the country either. Japan has a law against stimulants along with most over-the-counter medications. Why? People simply go to the doctor instead of trying to self-medicate. Interesting. Divorce. This is a law that has luckily changed. In Japan, it used to be the law that a woman had to wait 6 months before getting remarried after a divorce was final. If she was pregnant and gave birth at that time, the baby would legally be her ex-husband's. This law dates back to the 1800s, likely to help identify the father of a baby. Today, a woman doesn't have to wait to remarry, but she still has to wait 100 days if she's pregnant. Do men have these rules? Nope. Tattoos. Getting a tattoo while on a trip is a popular way to remember a certain time in your life. But if you want to commemorate your trip to Japan, you'll have to go to the gift shop instead. Tattoo parlors are actually illegal in Japan, and if you still want to get some ink, you have to go to a doctor's office instead. Of course, that doesn't stop illegal parlors from popping up all over in larger cities like Osaka, Kyoto, and Tokyo.